Hi, kabano, it's Chris here, and I've been super busy for the last few weeks doing some, culinary projects which have been tying me all up, and I'm so busy. In fact, I don't have my normal like tropical background or cool background behind me because I'm just shooting this in a regular office without the cool green screen that we've been using to make these vlogs. But I want to keep some stuff coming out for Sundays for all of our kababayans around the world who are watching this show and writing in questions to me and expecting answers. Before I get into some questions, if you haven't been following the show lately, we've been doing some really cool stuff in the past few weeks. So I went out to the launch of Marugami Udon in the fort in VGC, so we'll put up a link to that video there if you want to check that out. Food was delicious. Also, I've been making a lot of bread. I know Philippines talagang yung rice country dito sa Pilipinas, diba? But I've been like getting flour and mixing it with yeast and making bread, and today I accomplished one of my bread goals, which was to perfect the art of the flatbread. So I've now done that, and I might actually make an episode about that at some stage. And then, oh, this is cool, we did another giveaway for free Masflex products. So my Filipino clam chowder, and this is a beautiful recipe. It's super healthy, it uses fresh Manila clams, just a little bit of vegetables, and it's really cool because we just grate in some of the white corn, and it just instead of being like chowder that's thick because of cheese or cream, it's actually like a water-based chowder, and that grated white corn just gives it that sort of thickness and texture, which is super interesting. And this is so gotta be healthy because I don't think we used any oil in cooking it, and it's just literally like clam meat and then like corn and dahon ng sili and ginger. So super healthy if you're looking for a healthy Filipino dish. If you're looking for an unhealthy Filipino dish, check out, of course, my top 5 Filipino pork recipes here because that's an option too. All right, so let's get into a few questions. So question comes from Alaya Gonzalez, who says, hello, I'm really fascinated that you chose to focus on the Philippines cuisine. May I ask if you study like this on other cuisines before it, and where did you get your motivation or reason to choose and study our cuisine? Okay, so great question. So firstly, have I done this before? Have I made a YouTube channel devoted to Philippine cooking and written a book about a particular cuisine? No, this is a one-time thing. It's a huge amount of work. I don't think anyone realizes how much work it is. I don't think I could do it for another cuisine to really document and get it to know it as well as I have with Filipino. But I did have a love of cooking before this from Australia, from growing up there, and I love experimenting with food. To answer the second part of your question, I think what has drawn me to Filipino food so much is it's like the perfect cuisine for home chefs because it is very experimental, fuses together ingredients from around the world. There's huge regional variation between different Filipino dishes. So if you're in one part of the Philippines, up north, you might cook your pinakbet totally different to how you might cook it in Bicol or in Mindanao because of just different availability of vegetables. And as a home cook, I really, really love those dishes where you open your fridge and you're like, okay, I've got a carrot, a banana, and a carton of milk. What can I do with that? Not exactly that improv, you kind of need some fundamentals, but this is a cuisine where there's really no limits. So if you do like playing around with food, I don't know of a cuisine as versatile and as little rules in what you do, how you do it, how you serve it. All of that just is completely open house. So that's why I love it. Oh, and then you write, take care, Chris. You take care as well. Thanks for the comment. Thanks for watching the show. So my next question is not a question, or rather it is a question asking me to do something for them. It comes from Bongbong Santos. He wrote in on my Facebook saying he would really, really like a shout out from me. So Bongbong, g'day, how are you? Thank you for watching. Thank you for asking for a shout out. Not everyone asks for that, and it's a really simple thing I can do is just, say g'day to subscribers personally. I'm happy to do fan signs or shout outs to people. Syempre na, you should really be a subscriber and like our Facebook page or join the Kabano Team Maputing Cooking on Facebook, so we know that you're really super fan of the show and you love what I'm doing. But syempre, I'm always happy to do that for you guys, and if it's a special occasion for you, just let me know. I can do a greeting. So today's greeting for Bongbong Santos. Hope you're doing well, mate. Hope you're enjoying the show. Maraming salamat sa inyong tanom. Now, Jelly P writes to me, hey, achara is a side dish, not a sauce. Yeah, so technically you're right, Jelly P. Why don't you just start your own YouTube channel? just tell everyone how it's done. I'm kidding. Appreciate the correction. Yes, you are correct. I guess achara is one of those things that's kind of lumped into the sauces and side dish category. So apologies if I've referred to it inadvertently as a sauce. Very aware it's sort of a drier style pickled papaya dish. And I think that's an important distinction to make. So thanks. And if you would like to start your own YouTube channel, go for it. You have my blessing and you can give people even more detailed information than what I'm doing. So maraming salamat sa observation mo dyan. And then I've got a comment here from Trainers Club saying, thank you, Chris. What was the first plant you planted in your rooftop garden? Where did you get the soil? Where did you get the organic fertilizers? And may I request that you make a video on this? Thanks again. So we can make a video on that where we talk through some of the practical ways of doing urban gardening here in Manila. The quick answers for you are, first thing I planted, I think it was actually tarragon, because I brought some back from Tagaytay, and I love tarragon tea as a after dinner. It's great for like indigestion. You feel wonderful having it. It's light, there's no caffeine. So I think it was probably tarragon, which actually does pretty well in Manila. And after tarragon, I think it was sitaw. I just bought a pack of seeds in the store, and I always grew beans when I was a kid because they're super easy to grow. They have a very long cropping cycle as long as you pick regularly. And value for money, they're a really good one to go for. And I thought, well, I've got this sampayan, like this old traditional cage, so I wanted to do climbing sitaw because that's going to run up my sampayan, and you know, I don't have to put up any lattice work to grow it. So that's what I grew first. Soil, you can buy like ilang mga sako sa mga landscaping supply areas in Manila. We get some in Paco and White Plains in QC. There's some places out there, and it's normally like for like isang sako, maybe 40 or 50 pesos or something like that. Or for like the jumbo sako, maybe 100. If I'm in Tagaytay, because when I go up there, I always stay at like farm stay places where I like just get talking to the owner or the staff and end up like digging soil. My wife loves this. I'm like, just wait there. I'm just filling a bag with soil that I'm gonna put in the back of our car. Look how mataba this soil is, right? Because I can really appreciate how good the soil up there is. So I'll just like fill a sack or stop somewhere on the side of the road, be like, hey, can I get a sack of soil? So yeah, I'm constantly topping that off. And then for the compost, actually, I compost myself on the rooftop. So we just got like some big plastic drums, and all the kitchen scraps go in there. All the dead plants go in there, and you got to read a little bit about the science of composting, but you can kind of make your own compost, and then totally stinks, especially in the decomposition phase, but you can stir that through your soil. Like if you have the time on your hands and enough containers, you can kind of supply your own garden just with your kitchen waste. So we might make a longer video about this another time where we really talk about it for anyone who wants to set up their own kitchen market gardens at home here in Manila. And then Nagwagi 2000 says, can you teach Filipinos how to cook and appreciate Singaporean mee sayam? It's one of my favorites. You know, I've spent a little bit of time in Singapore and Malaysia, and I don't recall a time I've definitely eaten noodles in those places. I don't recall a time I've specifically eaten mee sayam. So I had a look at this one, and from what I can tell, it's sort of a really interesting one that probably Filipinos would like because it's known to be a salty sweet, like uses some black bean and tamarind, at least when I looked it up online. So I think that would be like quite a, you know, panglasan Pinoy effect, given a lot of Filipino dishes really blend the salty, sour, savory, sweet all into the one dish, right? So it looks really interesting, but I also like that it's spicy, which is always my one complaint with a lot of Filipino food, especially Kapampangan food. Like, it's not spicy. Sorry, anyone from Pampanga. I know it's like meant to be the leading food center of the Philippines, but I'm like, use chili. I'm more Bicol food guys, most of you know, if I had to choose between the two. I think this is one that would actually play really well in the Philippines, especially for Bicolanos. Leave it with me. We might see if we could do something like this where we would like start to pick out some global dishes that we think are really should be eaten more by Filipinos. I know this would taste way better than like standard pancit canton with not a lot going on. This looks actually really flavorsome. So thanks for the suggestion. We will see if we can try this one out in the next couple of months. So there we go, mga kabano, some updates from me. Hope you're having a great Sunday. If you're watching this on Sunday, that's the day we released it. And if you're not watching it on Sunday, hope whatever day of the week it is going really well for you and you've cooked something great in the last week. Remember to get in touch with me with any questions or comments about the show, about Filipino cooking, about why I'm so interested into Filipino food, how you can help me take it global, all of that. And if you like watching the show, don't forget to tell a friend about it. You can leave your comment below or leave your question below. And of course, shout out to all of our kababayans who are watching, and especially our Team Maputing Cooking #Urbano group at Facebook, who you guys are great, you share everything. Appreciate the support. We'll see you next time. Bye now.